What's up, YouTube? I'll let you guys in my shop. So anyway, this week I've been wanting to go over some stuff that's especially for newbies because that's kind of what I've focused on. Sorry, I just ran a blower and it's full of dust right now. But yeah, I'm going to feel that later. But yeah, so I got a handful of tools that I've get picked up over the years that while I don't regret buying, I bought them too soon. So I wanted to go over those with you right here. Let's do a hey, while I'm thinking about it. So, did you guys know that you can support me for not spending a cent by hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing my videos? Doesn't cost you a cent. Does helps the algorithm see me a whole lot more, and it's totally free for you. It just takes 3 clicks. Just wanted to throw that out there. Thanks. Bye. All right. So, we are on my workbench, and I'm totally going to be making some of these. I just happened to be sitting there and I was like, ooh, let's have fun. Anyway, one of the biggest ones I would not recommend for newbies, cordless sanders. They're great. They can, especially this Milwaukee 12 volt. I got the 332nd version. It's marked somewhere. Sorry, 316th version. They also have a 332nd. This is a little more aggressive. Absolutely tears wood to pieces, especially when you're standing on big flat pieces like cutting boards and that and the like. This is my cordless version because I cannot for the life of me find my corded. Of course, I just look behind me and there it is. But cordless belt sanders. Or, because it is in fact right here, just a little dusty, plug in belt sanders as I grab the cord. Well, they have a ton of uses. Most recently that I've discovered from another turner. Take your pen tubes, which I happen to have an extra one right here. Hold it right there and let this thing do your sanding on the tubes for you so you don't have to do it all by hand. Great time saver if you're a pen turner. These things absolutely destroy wood, but if you don't keep them moving, and no, I'm not going to plug it in, but if you not keep it moving, I've seen too many projects get gouged with one to where you either have to plane it or take it to somebody with a drum sander or just spend an extra 7 hours sanding to fix the gouges. So definitely a couple of the number one things people tell you need, you do not need. Honestly, most people probably would never need to invest in one of these. Why I have two, there are tricks to using them. They are effective when you know how to use them. And for a while, I couldn't find the plug-in one, and I got that for Christmas a couple years ago. Plus, I like having cordless versions of stuff because I don't know. For a while, I didn't have extension cords and didn't know where I can get them fairly inexpensively for decent stuff. But next up would be my biscuit joiner. Again, I was given a plug-in one. I've never used it. I have used this one a few times. If you didn't know, you put this up on the edge of a board, turn it on, and then push in. And what happens is that blade cuts in, just like that. And safety first, there is no battery, so I'm not going to get hurt. But that, as you push in, that cuts its way through, leaves a little bit of a weird cutout in it. I thought I had my biscuits over here. So I was going to show you guys what goes. I could have sworn my biscuits were right here. While I'm looking, a biscuit is a wooden football shape that you put wood glue on. They say it's supposed to help strengthen your glue ups. I've heard they do. I've heard they don't. Here's my jar. I was looking in the wrong toolbox. But like this is a DeWalt pack. They come in a couple different sizes. These are the only ones I've ever used. So you just glue that, pop it in, and then line it up. I don't know. I don't for if you need to align stuff, they're great because they will hold it in alignment. But if you're just using it to add strength to a joint, personally, I don't recommend them. Mainly because I don't think they do anything. Like I said, like if you have a picture of something that you need to align and you measure everything out and you cut them in right, I mean, it'll lock in exactly where you need it every time. Invaluable for that. But personally, if I'm going to do an engraving like that, I'm just going to do it after everything's put together because then I don't got to deal with it because it's easier. And if it saves me time and makes my life easier, it saves a customer money. So generally how I do things. And I do have a fairly large laser in the house I don't use very often, but there have been times I needed it and I'm glad I have it. It's slow, it's not very powerful, but it gets the job done and does it quite well. Um, there's a couple others, but we're gonna have to go on a walk to get to those, and I'm gonna have to freehand this. So if it's too shaky, I apologize. But the first one is definitely a 12-inch compound sliding miter saw. I have a 7.25-inch cordless one. The only reason I don't use it more is because, well, I don't have a stand for it, and I don't want to unmount the big one. 99% of stuff you can do with a 10-inch. Most woodworkers that I know, you don't need 12. There's certain circumstances you do, and when you do, you need it. But if you don't need it, don't spend the extra money. It's something I wish I would have known because it would have saved me money when I first started off, which is really what I'm trying to do for you guys here today. So I got two others over there. So let's go. Don't mind the mess, but and all the basswood I've been cutting. I'm trying to get the right size of carving blanks for a couple things. But yeah, this big boy, if you can get the 10-inch version, it's a lot cheaper. I think it's like almost $200 less, and it's just as good. So, I mean, if you're willing to deal with something a little bit smaller, from everything I've heard, I can't recommend it enough. Plus, there's also the fact that you can get cheaper brands out there that I shouldn't say cheaper. I will say less expensive brands that are just as good. I've been hearing good things about a lot of the new Harbor Freight Hercules line. I've personally never used them, but I've been told by more than a few people, including a lot of YouTubers, that they're really good. They're really nice. I've played with them in the store. If I lost everything today, I would probably try them out just to save some money and get everything up and running, especially for a table saw, which again, I'm trying to save you guys money. Personally, I would not be able to operate without a table saw. The miter saw I just showed you, if I lost that, I can do everything with that with a table saw and a good fence. And you can get you can get that and the fence I recommend, which might be in a separate video. I'm not going into expensive stuff today because it's like $200. But yeah, um, that was definitely something that I just completely lost my train of thought. So let's get to the table saw. It might come back to me. Sorry, I'm getting ready to sort through some wood for a big order I've got. And then what I don't use or what they don't want for the order, I'm going to then resell because I've been wanting to get some more boards made, and that's where I got all of this for. This is all walnut, by the way. I found a source I can get cutoffs for next to nothing. I'm pretty sure this whole pile was like $25. And I got another milk crate at somewhere else that's full, and a couple. I've got it in like 3 different places, but right now this is the only table I have because it's the winter and I need to reorganize and clean, if you can't tell. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to go with the big names. While they're nice, it's if you're brand loyal and you want your whole shop to match, hey, that's great. Like I'm looking at my planer, it's a DeWalt, my miter saw's a DeWalt, my table saw's a DeWalt. lately I've been getting into the Milwaukee M12s because they're almost as powerful as, or more powerful than the DeWalt 12 volt. They're almost as good as the 20 volts. You pay for them, but um, yeah, they also have a couple things that you can't do with the DeWalt line. So that's part of why I'm kind of like, yeah, I really like them. But yeah, so there's a handful of the tools and machineries that I have that if you're just starting off, you really don't need, and there are less expensive options out there. And if people give you grief for going to Harbor Freight, they really shouldn't, because their quality is not where it used to be. They're a lot better than they used to be. They really are. So don't ever discount the frugal options. Just make sure you do your research and don't be swayed by the people that have all the Festool and the super expensive fancy stuff. I mean, I've got a bunch of parallel clamps downstairs. The only reason I have as many as I do, I caught them on sale. If my tools aren't set up right, it doesn't do anything better than what I could do with a regular bar clamp or a pipe clamp, which I don't have any pipe clamps. I've used them. They're just as good. They're just not as expensive, don't look as cool. That's the difference, at least from my experience. But with that, I will say, cat in the hat, that be dat. See you folks later.